Hi, my name's Gabby. Thanks for being here. I'm really glad that you're here. You hopped on and you want to learn a little bit more about prompting. So, just so you know, the page that I'm on right now is gibbsmedia.substack.com. So, if you want to explore the Trend Vault on your own, if you see one of these topics that interest you, feel free to explore that on your own or leave a comment below to see which one you'd be interested in seeing next. But today we're going to go over the master role. So, when we're setting up the idea of AI in your head, you've probably already been presented that is this all-encompassing thing that can do things automatically and can just function. And then when you get to doing it yourself, you might realize it's not really functioning the way that you need it to automatically. So when we're looking at that hurdle, that jump that people have to go through, a large part of it has to do with the fact that many of us, in order to operate AI in the most successful way, have to become managers, have to become delegators, and have to ensure that we're excellent at communication. And honestly, I would say that's a weaker skill on the average person. Like, across the board, on average, I don't think people are good at asking for help. I don't think people are excellent at knowing what kind of work to give to someone else, and delegation and managing their expectations and communicating those expectations to a person or a thing. So that's kind of what this master role is here to help. So this is something to do with a chatbot, whether it be Gemini, whether it be Claude, whether it be ChatGPT. In my example, I'll walk you through with ChatGPT, but this is a real game changer. I'm really excited that you get to learn it and that you're here today. Okay, so let's dive in. So, if you've watched anything of mine in the past, or you've read anything, and if you don't already know, I believe in RACE prompting. And RACE is R standing for role, A standing for action, C stands for context, E stands for expectation. But today, we're only focusing on the role. We're focusing on the master role. And when I learned this trick, it changed my output immensely. And the quality of communication that I have with my chatbot exceeds expectations, and you can see just a significant jump in my output results being so much more successful. And it's really because I knew how to ask a question. And so let's get to that question. So role is actually the most important of the RACE acronym because it's the priming layer. So it's like if I ask the same question to a historian versus a, kindergarten teacher, what kind of output would that give us? It's going to have a different perspective. It's going to have a different level of expertise to take on an angle. And so understanding that even in the real world, the role of the human that you ask for help affects the output of the answer or the result that you get back. And so the same is true for this communication calculator that we have at our hands, chatbots. So when we're setting up the role, it's the priming layer. It determines what corner of the internet that the chatbot explores on your behalf, because it is diving into the internet. It's weaving its way through a crowded sphere of context. And so you need to either compress that circle to the exact specific specifications that you need, or you need to expand it to cover the surface area that you're looking for. So when you're choosing the type of mind you're consulting with, you actually may not know the best one. So this is where we really just start from the beginning when we start a chat. It genuinely flips how you associate the conversation that you're about to have, because you really got to go in the perspective of like, I know nothing except what I'm trying to accomplish. So we're going to go into the chat and we're going to begin. So this is how I generate a prompt. This is how I prompt a master role. Okay, so at the beginning, and I have this saved, so you can go into this exact article too. It's public, and you can get this exact prompt. Or you can look at it right now, copy it, paste it. So I'm going to go into the prompt. Generate a list of roles that would be excellent at working on / solving the following. Include the traits that would be most helpful. So, what is the problem that you're trying to solve? What is the scenario that you're coming to the AI for? Are you a graphic designer and you need help coming up with an idea for an output, a creative project? Are you somebody who's a writer who's looking for a editorial eye? Are you somebody who is maybe trying to be an entrepreneur and make something from scratch? These are all thoughts that you can be having. So for example, I'm going to say in this scenario, I am looking to find a way to solve world hunger with macaroni. How does one spell macaroni? Okay, perfect. I want to teach 4th graders how to accomplish this and offer their help in distributing this method. It's silly, I know, but the computer will take anything I say seriously. So don't view anything that you have to say as silly. Alright. When we're looking at this, it's going to list all of the roles that would be excellent at helping me solve this problem we're trying to accomplish. Food scientist, nutrition, architectural scientist, supply chain, humanitarian, and it's listing the things. So I can read this and be inspired. If you're actually trying to solve something and you don't know what you don't know, this can be inspiring to lead your thoughts in a better way. Or you can just completely ignore it, because the idea here is that we are priming the chatbot. The chatbot itself needs to know this information and needs to know why this is helpful and what are the key characteristics that we want to hone into when we're problem solving. So now that we have it all listed out, that's great. I love it. The idea then, the next prompt is now generate a master role that alchemizes all of these traits into a single master role. I'm going to put that right in. That's it. And it creates the master role for me. So what I have now is this perfect consultant. This person with a core identity that has all of these traits. I didn't have to just choose one. I could have just said a global health expert. But the global health expert would not have the elementary educator 4th grade perspective. So I am alchemizing all of these specific traits and angles and compressing them into this one master role. And the communication style, the thought process, the traits that it's going to hone into will be well aligned. And now from here, I can even ask it in that same idea of like, you don't know what you don't know, you can ask for help every step of the way. I'm gonna be like, what do you think is the first step? And now I have this amazing consultant that's going to help guide me through this process or bounce off of, so that I am well aligned with success. So that is a master role. That is quite literally it. The idea of these are all the words that you have to say. It is amazing. It is so simple, yet so game changing. So, for example, one that I use quite often is when I'm in the master role, generate a list of roles that would be excellent at working on or solving the following traits. Include the traits that you think would be most helpful. On a personal note, I have skin that reacts and has imperfections. So knowing that maybe you have a big event that you have to go to, and maybe you're out of makeup. The idea of I have a big event to go to and I need new makeup products, but my skin type is very sensitive and combo skin. And that's information I know because I already care about skincare, but you could even dive further and be like, I need to know what type of skin I have because I react and I get acne. So then they would add more of a dermatologist layer. But I'm not asking for that, so I'm not really going to receive that. I'm going to be probably getting more makeup output and a little bit of like a chemist vibe. So whenever I write that in, it's going to list out all the roles: a cosmetic, a dermatologist, a chemist, professional bright makeup artist, sensitive skin. And then I just go into the chat again and I'm going to say generate a master role that alchemizes all of these into one. And then now I can go online and kind of search, where maybe I watch some TikToks and I get influenced to buy a product, and then I can be like, is this a good product for me, to this chat that is knowing specifically what my goal is and who I am in a way that relates to that product. And this can be used beyond makeup and skincare. This can be used in the idea of knowing what kind of lawn you have and knowing what type of plants you have. So when you're looking at priming a chat to accomplish something and to dilute the internet to the correct pH level for your solution, you gotta try the master role. The master role is amazing, and I can't wait to see your outputs. Maybe you'll tell me about something really crazy that happened. Success. I'm wishing it for you and for your chats. Let's chat again soon. Gibbs.